Let's see. And live on YouTube. Let's see. Yep, we are on there. Move this stuff around. Oh yeah, so welcome to the Gentlemen of Crypto, episode 48. What's going on, RT? Thanks for joining me. What's going on, Antonio? People on YouTube, Facebook. People starting to jump on Facebook a little faster, like my YouTube people. The Gentlemen of Crypto, episode 48. Got a lot of good stuff today. Man, what's up, Jamal? P-Man, what's going on, brothers? Yeah, what's up, man? But yeah, so let's jump to the big one. I'm sure everybody has seen. For some of my newer people who haven't heard about Ripple, if you haven't heard about it, it is a cross-border payment system. It uses cryptocurrency. It's more centralized. They have a CEO, but they are enabling payments with American Express. Huge news. If they, implement their technology. What's up, Crypto? Crypto Q, man. What's up, man? Yeah, man. I had to mention that, man, because yeah, if you've ever seen anything about this cryptocurrency, it's valued at around 25 cents. I think last night it jumped, or when this news came out, it jumped 20%. I think it's probably still going up right now. What's going on, Sherelle? Thanks for joining. But yeah, so cryptocurrency is starting to go mainstream. Like my business partner was talking yesterday. What's going on, Justin? Like he was discussing yesterday, Bitcoin is going mainstream, definitely. If American Express is using a cryptocurrency to do cross-border payments, it's definitely something to look into investment-wise. Also something maybe, you can't use personally, but if you want to use it as a storage of value, so to say, long-term, if they get more, payment processors to jump on, I don't know what Visa, MasterCard, I don't know what they're doing, but if they can find a way to, add those people, could be a big year for them coming up, 2018. So thanks for joining. So yeah, going more into it. If you use their platform, the FX international platform, that's how it'll be routed. Because Ripple itself, it goes up. What's going on, Brandon? How you doing, Stephanie? Ripple itself goes up, but they're actually using the blockchain, Ripple Net. So it's one of those things where the price jumps really fast when news is good. However, it isn't really viable for you. So if you want to use it for, like I said before, investment, like for my new people joining on, what's up, O'Neil? What's up, Jonathan? Ripple, just to backtrack for those of you joining late, Ripple joined with American Express. It's a centralized cryptocurrency. We're starting to see that a lot more. The IMF, a few other people are trying their own, other countries to have centralized cryptocurrencies. They have a CEO, but it is good for cross-border payments. And like I was saying to other people, it is big news, very big news coming out this week. And one of the biggest things that came out yesterday, actually, if you're on Twitter, if you've seen anything online, Square, anybody with Square Cash can buy Bitcoin, and I believe it was mentioned yesterday, not sure, but if you have the Square app, you have the possibility of buying Bitcoin for some people, not everybody. As I was gonna say, if anybody uses that, definitely something that's probably the biggest news for mainstream that you can have, because if you use Square, say something, because a few people use Venmo. What's the other one? It's a few other ones. I don't really use them because I'm more of Bitcoin, but yeah, if Square allows you to buy it, as we've seen since that news has come out, I believe the price has jumped $250. I think it's hovering. It jumped over 7,600 when I last looked a few minutes ago. So yeah, so it's one of those things where the technology, blockchain, is being used, but it's also one of those things where Bitcoin itself is still a very viable option, and it looks like it's on its way to 10K. And if you're new, if you're not familiar with what we talk about on the show as far as news and things of that nature, Bitcoin is very new, so it's only 8 years old. So a lot of it is driven by fundamentals, but it's also driven with good news, because whenever these companies start to use it, like we've seen last week, the world's biggest derivative traders are about to use it. Circle had it before. Yeah, Circle, they had it before. Once this good news comes out, that really drives the price, and if you sit and wait for it, you're usually too late. So you want to get into the habit, if you're thinking of buying Bitcoin, of buying the dip, for one, because people do take profits, but you also want to make sure that you don't sit on it and wait for other people to tell you to do it, because I've probably been telling people for about 3 or 4 years now. And for the most part, people will listen, but they'll say, "Oh, I'll wait till it gets to a certain point," and that's kind of when you are you'll be just being a consumer at that point. So it's still early, it's good, but I know some people will listen and they'll still sit on it. So you got Ripple joining with American Express, Square. You're able to buy Bitcoin now. Some people, hopefully they roll it out for everybody. I believe it's owned by Twitter, because Jack, he wrote a whole article about it. I actually put that I'll put that blog in the YouTube byline. But yeah, all this stuff coming out, great time to buy. But Brave, actually, it's funny, I'm on YouTube, but Brave is another browser. If you haven't heard of it, it's different from Google. It actually allows you to be private. They have a new feature now where you have to sign in with a PIN code because it's completely private. It blocks ads, it blocks trackers, and it actually it increases your speed of web surfing because it blocks all that stuff. And it'll show you like you saved 6 minutes, over time, or 20 minutes over time using this browser. So they have a big thing coming out where they're about to start paying users in Bitcoin, and their token called Basic Attention Token, BAT, so to say. It's been out for a little minute. They actually had a ICO, which is an initial coin offering. They raised $35 million in 30 minutes, which is the fastest multi-million-dollar ICO in the history of the space. So very, very new technology. So if you see the Brave browser, I would suggest probably downloading and use it, checking it out. And if you look at cryptocurrencies, the BAT token, which is jumped in price as well, had it for a little bit, still holding on to it, but Basic Attention Token will be paid out to YouTube type creators, so influencers, people like us even that do videos very often. They'll start paying you directly to your URL, which is one of the things they said they wanted to do for a long time anyway. So the fact that they're actually implementing it with cryptocurrency, they're saying they're trying to get rid of the underpaid YouTube people, because a lot of people talk about that. I don't really have a big problem with it. I'd rather do both platforms. You can do it both ways, but it will take that market share. So if you're looking at the future of how things will go, a lot of times people will start getting paid. What's going on, Real Tarami? What's up, man? A lot of ways people are getting paid online is, people are exploiting it. They're taking advantage of it. But once it's decentralized and people are paying you directly, you'll make more money, which you'll have more money to spend, and it keeps the economy going. And it creates its own, unique value, because over time, Basic Attention Token could be worth, in the billions or so market cap wise, and who knows number wise, but it has a utility. That's what some of my newer people need to realize. If you look at cryptocurrencies, it has a utility, and it looks like they're aiming for YouTube right now. So if there's a big market share, somebody can take a small part of it. What's B3? I'm not sure what B3 is. I don't know what you're talking about. But yeah, throw that in there. So also moving forward, all this good news coming out. We couldn't go forward without throwing some bad news in there, or quote unquote bad news. Somebody else has called Bitcoin a Ponzi scheme. Surprise, surprise. We've been seeing this. Yeah, you're looking at the Brave browser now. Yeah, I've been using it mobile. You can use your pen and everything for that. So, I mean, use your Touch ID if you want to. Very, very nice technology. So, but yeah, all this good news, and people are still calling Bitcoin a Ponzi scheme, which is hilarious because you can use it as the currency. So, I don't know how you Ponzi scheme. Plus, there's no benefit really to me getting. I don't care if you want to buy it. People, I help people that want to be helped. If they want to hear about it, cool. If not, it's not a Ponzi scheme where, oh yeah, I'll bring you in, I get this percentage. There are some out there that use Bitcoin, but scammers are gonna scam. If you've seen, and I got to throw some of those out there because I tweeted about it a while back. If you're seeing these programs that are telling you they'll guarantee you money and that they're making thousands a day, and that if they have an actual pyramid on the website like BitConnect, if they actually tell you you can't take your money out, it's red flags. You know, like I said before, I mentioned it. I try to mention it every show because I got more and more people looking at it. But scammers are taking, you know, they're making it, giving it a bad name. They've always been around, but they, you know, they still use cash. So, but nobody stopped using it. So, the biggest thing is stop. You know, make sure you see the red flags, and some of those things are Ponzi schemes, but Bitcoin itself is not. It is a digital currency that can be used as a store of value. It can be sent back and forth, and it gains value. It's not like I mean, nobody is actually kept from buying more than somebody before. Somebody can come in and buy more Bitcoin than I could ever get just because they have money. So, Ponzi scheme wise, it's weird they call it, but DBS CIO David Gledhill has actually said that it's a Ponzi scheme riddled with hidden costs. And it's another bank who they have their concerns. You know, I'm sitting in one of the biggest banking cities, you know, in the country, where a lot of people think, you know, this may have an impact. I wear my Bitcoin hoodie here a few times, and I walk past some of these banks, and some of their faces, they look, and then they like look back and give a double take. So it's kind of one of those things where they don't want to talk about it unless it's, you know, we're either doing blockchain or it's bad. Ponzi scheme, he was like Bitcoin transactions, there's fees, you know, all throughout it, but you can use other cryptocurrencies. And on top of that, like P-Man, absolutely. I don't think these institutions would jump on a Ponzi scheme. They have more researchers than anybody could buy. But at the same time, you got to make sure. Yeah, Antonio. Yeah, make sure that's not gonna happen. But they have way more influence than some of these smaller banks or some of these guys who just come out and say stuff. But I'm pretty sure that if they were going to get rid of it or try and get rid of it, they would have tried. People are still trying, but it's showing its resilience now. And going forward, I know scaling wise, it has some problems, it has some stuff it needs to fix. But IOTA is going up. I mentioned that as well. But let's see, they are Southeast Asia's largest lender. Let's see, and I guess, you know, it's fine with them to come out and say that, but after a while, people are gonna stop listening to this. I mean, after a while, it's getting ridiculous. They're kind of like, all right, man, y'all said this 100 times, and then we got these other group of bankers who are like, yeah, we're going all in with it. We'll see you in the future. So yeah, we'll see. But at the same time, you do want to diversify, use cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin is great, and yeah, Ripple. I discussed that earlier. Joining with American Express, that news came out this morning. That was big time, man. Yeah, so great news all around. I don't know. I'm not sorry, but yeah. So won't keep it too long today. Had to get some news out for you. For those of you who are newer and haven't watched before, we'll be back together as a team, but right now we gotta get a lot of meetings, a lot of stuff done, and just make sure you follow us on YouTube, KRB Crypto, also on Twitter and Instagram, which we haven't used that much. Make sure you follow us there at KRB Crypto, and appreciate you, Antonio. And I'll put that link for that story in the YouTube video. So make sure you check us out, and I'll see you all later.